This video's more about the control box I use to house my computer and stuff to run the layout. Now this is a bit of an overview of the layout. All these archways, trains come in and out to go on the back on the sliding fiddle yard, and there's a working canal there which runs canal boats round on. As you can see from here, that's the overview of the layout, and this is a sliding fiddle yard. Goes across, feeds trains in and out. Now the bit I'm doing today is more on how I connect it all up and how I control it with a computer. So on the sliding fiddle yard I use these banana plugs, and I 3D printed cases for them, so each one has a different profile, so there's no way I can mix them up. I've got three lots of 2 on here and 3 lots of 2 on here, and they're all completely different, so as long as I get red and red, black and black together, I should be good to go. I've got 12 volt, 5 volt and a track coming on here. That's just a little box to switch power on and off to the stepper motors if I want to disable the steppers, and this little red button's a reset button. This one here is the RS485 bus, so this is my communication bus that goes around the whole layout, connects all the Arduinos and all the boards connected to it, so this basically sends the message around the whole track. So this is my layout which I have to control. So I did look at doing it how you're supposed to do it, I suppose, old school way, and but it didn't work because I've got so many track positions on the sliding. All these little buttons here are sliding fiddle yard positions, so when I press on one of these buttons it can move sliding fiddle yard 32 to the outlet 13, and that's the way it works on here. All these little red dots here are track sensors, so they're embedded reed switches in the actual plaster, the air dry clay on top. My turnouts and my little mini turntables are on there as well. A few fail safes up here, but that's part of the sliding fiddle yard, and that we're not talking about that today. And these here are all my automation threads that start when I click on them. So this is what I'm talking about today mostly. That's the overview of it, and it's a box with stuff inside, screen, keyboard and mouse. Now I've got a little rolling road on there so I can check the decoders on the locos. Now the box started off originally donkeys years ago to house bits and bobs for a little IBM laptop, and it's progressed over the years and seen many different incarnations, and at the moment it's my box it's to control this layout, but I could quite easily take it up to my loft layout and plug it in up there and run that as well, so it's an all-in-one. So, and as I say, we've got the little rolling road there, and it's on the programming track, so I can program my decoders. It's a touchscreen monitor, so I can use it on touchscreen. I tend to use the mouse mostly though, it's just the way I work. Here we got a Think Centre. It was off eBay. I think they're workstation computers, and they were selling off lots of Windows 10 ones very cheap because Windows 11 coming in, they're not compatible with 11, but work absolutely fantastic for JMRI and CMRI. I did try Raspberry Pi and all the stuff that goes with it, but it just wasn't man enough. I couldn't get it to run fast enough and good enough. So we've got a couple of fast USBs on the front, and it's just a USB box on there. 3D printed grills to cover up basically all the holes there, the air holes. Underneath there on the bottom grill is an old router from BT days or whatever. I save all the old routers, come in handy for your Wi-Fi. On the front again, it's just a grill to cover up some holes. An outlet, programming track. Connect the little rolling road up to it. We've got my programming track, always plugged in, always handy. On the side, we've got the RS485 bus. That's just 2 pins, so nice little 2-pin plug, connects into the main board. And as you can see from here, on these plugs, they're all slightly different, so I can't get it wrong. That's what I'm saying, hopefully. Yeah, that's all you can see on that side. The other end, there's an extension lead coming in. This lead here goes into powering the box. This plug here goes to my monitor. On the back, I've had a fan that was installed years ago to keep something cool in there, and I've still got it in there. It just works on on-off switch. Takes, if we do get warm weather, it'll suck the heat out of it. My main power for the whole layout is a converted power supply, computer power supply, worker treat, and they're reliable. Back of the monitor, that's 3D printed VESA bracket, and because of the fan I had to offset the bracket, so this is the joy of 3D printing. If I'd bought a VESA bracket that fitted here, if I could find one, I'd have to have it dead centre and it would have gone on the top of the top of the fan. But as it goes, offset it a little bit and it just works. It's just glued in. Stands the monitor up and it's adjustable. It's as easy as that. That's the bottom on my monitor. It is a touchscreen, so we've got a USB for the touchscreen. It's not digital. The output on the little computer is not digital, so we're going off the VGA plug and power. And so that's the VESA mount, which printed out quite well. I've done it a little bit heavy duty because it is plastic. Well, works a treat. I had to buy one of these. Well, I didn't have to buy one. My first foray into a show, and I thought my layout's working fine because indoors everything's working fine. And it wasn't until I got to the show, plugged it into the RCD, and it kept tripping it. And it was tripping the whole show. And I'll show you the lead that was suspect. But at home, it wasn't tripping my RCD. But as soon as you put one of these little ones onto the extension, it was tripping it. It didn't go down too well at the show. So this is the back, just the back. All I've done was put a little groove in to slide the board in. And 2 little screws on the front. It does need cleaning up by the looks of it. Just to hold this board on to give me access to the inside of the box. And the box, this was an old Casio organ stand. Very nice, very useful. And just sits on top there, very sturdy. And this is, that's just the leads that's on the sliding fiddle yard. So I don't know why I put that in again, but there we go. And the wire I used is Army Black and Tan. I don't know if there's any Brits watching this. British Army use this called Black and Tan, and it works treat. And there we go, we got the 5 volts on the top, 12 volts on the bottom, the tracker be in the middle, and the RS485 bus just plugs in. And I thought I'd seen this one before. Well, there's a top view of the sliding fiddle yard. A couple of switches, turn it on and off, and a reset. So this is the inside of the box. So if we have a look on the left there, I think I've probably got a close-up of that, but that's the overview of what's inside that box. And the lead that failed on me, the power brick here that runs a computer has a cloverleaf extension which came with it, which was a genuine OEM one, and it just burnt out. It just went disintegrated, causing resistance on there and blowing the LCD. Lesson learnt there, carry a spare lead. So this is the inside of the box, and I'll get around to close up. That's the banana plug sockets that I've put in the 3D printed little housings, and they're very simple, but they're bulletproof. They really are good, and you can piggyback them as well, so that's handy, especially for testing and stuff like that. This is my power supply, computer power supply. These here are piggybacked off into something else, so we got with 5 volts, 12 volts and a ground. These other ones here probably you get odd voltages on the power supplies, and I've probably just put them on there, minus 3.3 volts and stuff like that. Anyway, it's all there. It's quite a powerful supply. It does what I need. On top we've got an extension lead there and a few plug-ins to supply all the little bits and bobs on there. The brains of it is this on the left. There's a motor shield on top of an Arduino Uno running DCC++. Now I have got some megas to swap it out and run DCCX, but at the moment I don't need it. This runs perfectly on my layout for the small amount of trains I'm running. So I haven't upgraded. I should upgrade, but I haven't. There's nothing I need from DCCX, so if it's not broke, don't mess with it. This here is a MERG booster. I've got it set up for 5 amp. You can set it up for 10 amp. 5 amp's fine for me. Small locos, drawing 150 milliamps. Yeah, absolutely fine. Say it's a self-build kit. If people haven't seen it, it's a Model Electronics Railway Group, and you have to subscribe to them, but then you can buy kits at special prices and stuff that you can't get elsewhere. They do kits where you can't get elsewhere, and this is a 5 amp booster, and you have power in. There we go, power in there, and track out there, track in, track out. Oh, we go, track out there, track in there, I think it is. So on the motor shield here, we'll have power in. These 2 leads here go to what do you call it? The programming track. Oh, I'm getting confused myself. These 2 will go to the programming track. These 2 here go to the main track. They come in, they loop into this booster here, and then come out on these main 2 wires as my track feed. Just a little fan at the back there, and this is the main track feed that comes out on its merry way to run around the track. Just you can tell USB 2, an old USB hub, but it's a powered one, so and it's good. It does its job. And I think this USB, it goes into the back of here, but I've got another USB hub underneath as well. You can never have too many USB hubs. Levano make this, and underneath, now the only thing I can't show you is the router. It's just a small domestic router. It's connected up to JMRI, and it acts as my server, so I can use my Android phones with engine driver to run the layout. I can run the layout from the control panel, or I use an engine driver on a handheld, which is an old Android phone. On the computer, I'm not sure which way round they go, but you've got a power and a monitor. No, power, and that's the monitor. USB, I think that must be one of these. Must be another USB. So power, USB, monitor, and into network cable. Network cable into the little hub underneath. Gives me my Wi-Fi network. This one here is the RS485 adapter. So I think they call it an RS485 to USB adapter. It only needs two wires, but I was told ground it as well. So because everywhere's got common grounds, ground it and you get a bit of signal. And all you need for the actual layout is two wires. A bit of a close-up of it that went out of focus. Just two wires for there. And that is my layout control box in one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers for now.